Mayor Najarian, council members, and the public. When I decided to run for City Council so as to serve the interests of the people of the City of Glendale, I did not anticipate it would bring to me the painful point of publicly discussing my intimate aspects of my personal life, which I believe then and I believe now are not relevant to my ability to serve. Some 25 years ago, I went through a very stressful experience of having to come to terms with the fact that although I was a happily married man, I needed to confront my wife with the fact that I was gay. At that time, when society was less tolerant of alternative sexual orientations, I was ticketed twice for lewd conduct with a consenting man. Although the infractions were misdemeanors, and I stress misdemeanors, I needed to address my public impropriety with my wife. This is the infraction which Councilman Draymond has publicized. My wife and I, both then and now, have a deep and abiding love for each other. We came to terms with my sexual orientation and decided it could not and would not destroy or shake our marriage, in which we shared a powerful affection and respect for each other. As before, and since that episode, we have lived in a loving and mutually supportive relationship which only death can bring to an end. While it may be hard for some to understand, for us, to death do us part is not an onerous or troublesome part to keep. Rather, it's an expression of our mutual and profound feeling for each other. 25 years ago, in particular among my generation, acknowledging that you were gay was not as socially acceptable as it is today. So my wife and I decided not to let our families know about me. This past weekend, we went through the painful process of sharing and explaining matters which we've kept from our families for 25 years. Just as Lorraine and I have an unshakable marriage, we have an excellent relationship with our family. We believe that, in the end, we will emerge as a closer and extended family. At public forums, I have been asked, and in some cases shouted at, from the audience for the details of my 25-year-old arrest. I would hope this statement satisfies that lewd curiosity. I'm not so naive to believe this statement, as agonizing as it is, will not severely hurt my election chances. How badly, only time will tell. Finally, I must say something about how I was outed. I have criticized and questioned Mr. Draymond then and only regarding his public life. I only dealt with the conduct of his public life and not with the details of his private life. But my relationship with Mr. Draymond, who is reputed to be gay himself, has chosen to act otherwise. He has used public arrest documents regarding 25-year-old incidents that occurred in another gay man's life in order to destroy him as a rival candidate. I, for one, believe that such actions say something about his character which does not bode well for any of us. Each of you who either hear or read this statement must decide for yourself how this reflects on his character. I will finally continue my quest for a more prudent and responsive government as I did as I did at the start. But now, with this added burden, it is my hope that the painful transparency of this experience can help make our society towards a more perfect or more tolerant place where people of various inclinations and origins can partake in this great democracy with honor and with acceptance. Thank you. My name is Mike Mohill, candidate for Glendale City Council.
please.